Good afternoon, everyone. I feel deeply honored to be here amidst our colleagues. I was away from railway system for about 10 years, but in touch with most of the friends that I built while I worked in railways for 10 years. Now, when Amitesh, he rang me up to come and speak, I thought, should I talk about my life history, or should I talk about something which is the future? And I chose for something which is the future. So the topic of my discussion is innovation, startups, and entrepreneurship. Now, third word is very important, entrepreneurship, because I think organizations, and especially organizations like railways, produce entrepreneurs. That is, people who go on to build new organizations. And there are plenty of great examples, outstanding examples within railway system. So, I came across this line, and this continues to amaze me always. Now, this line was stated by a guy called Eastman Kodak, right, in 1893. And by 2006, Kodak has vanished. Okay? And believe me, the spirit of this guy was something new is just a few moments away. Now, how could have been this person? This person was a guy who would essentially believe in innovation, in new things, in trying out things, and in creating systems which would, build more opportunities and grow economies, create jobs, and those sort of things, right? And Kodak is no more. The company is no more. And the most interesting thing about Kodak's journey is, why are they no more? They failed to innovate. So that's the answer. But they failed to innovate because, they actually got the technology for digital cameras. Right? And that's the lesson. It is not that Kodak did not have digital cameras, and Apple and anyone else, all the mobile phone companies build digital cameras. Kodak had the digital camera, but someone in the Kodak system said, blocks to digital cameras. They said, we are not going to make digital cameras. Right? And that is something which, that's why I thought that we talk about this thing. And most often, everything, it all begins with this random spark, that brainwave, call it by whatever name, right, that flash. And that flash is something that, all of us have several times a day. Most often we fail to, we just park it aside. We are too busy with our work, with our files, with our things, with our homes, and we park it aside. And when several such sparks starts colliding, ideas start getting formed. But ideas are not innovation. Let me be very clear. Ideas are never innovation. Ideas are ideas. And all of us have several thousands of ideas which we don't do anything. We just park it aside, right? But what these ideas do, because what's important is this collision of these sparks. And when these sparks collide, it gives us a new pair of eyes to look at the world. And there's newness. Okay? And you start, the picture is very hazy. It is never very clear. Because if it was clear, then everyone else could have done it. So, those sparks will give us very hazy pictures, hazy ideas, and you continue to build, and something is happening right now, right? Cricket followers, the pink, right? And they're already talking about the orange. Pink is there, the pink ball is there, but pink ball is not innovation, it was an idea. Innovation is pink ball into test match cricket and 10,000 people more watching the game at the stadium, right? 10,000 people at Adelaide Oval, more. That's the stats that they have. More people are watching, more tickets have been sold because it's now happening day and night. So, those random sparks, collision of thoughts, ideas, and then these ideas are slowly taken to commercialization, and it takes time. It's never easy. Because this thought of pink ball, any idea when it came? Subhashish, great cricket follower. Yeah? No, 2000 is, it's much before, 1994. Someone thought about this idea in 1994, and in 2015, it took 20 years for this idea to be properly commercialized. Right? It takes time. Innovation takes time. So it's a long journey. It's a treacherous, long journey, and people will keep on. We all face these challenges when it comes to innovation. It's difficult. It's risky. It will not pay off. Okay? We don't know how to do because these ideas, this young guy, ye kya kar payega? Right? Why I'm saying here, because there could be several young guys in our own system who could do wonders for railways. Okay? But believe me, new ideas are a challenge, and unless we address those challenges, it's not going to happen. So I'll take a quick 1 minute, and I want you to think about a story right now. And I really want you to think not of the year 2015, but believe me, take yourself back in time and take yourself to the year 1876. Right? Gandhiji was only 7 years old. And this auditorium was not there. Okay? 1876 was a difficult year. There was a famine. There was a great famine. Queen Victoria was just crowned the Empress of India. Okay? And Eastern Railways, they were about to reach Agra. It all started in 1855 or 1854. And in 21 years, they were about to reach Agra. Now, that's the context. The world was very different, poor, unconnected. Now, in this context, here's the problem. So there's this lady called Jyoti Ganguly who has developed a new method to transmit voice over wire. Right? It's a new technology. And Robert Stephenson, who started the Eastern Railways, right? He comes, and you are the head of new initiatives, and he says, look, this Jyoti Ganguly, she sent me this paper, and she can transmit voice over wire. What should we do? Try it? Yeah? And believe me, they said, dump it. Right? And in 2015, it all looks, right? Why didn't we try it? It took them 16 years to say that, okay, we are going to try this. And I replaced this name Jyoti Ganguly by Alexander Graham Bell, and you start getting the picture. And this is a real life story. 1876, Alexander Graham Bell had this complete invention through which he could have transmitted, the telephone was working, prototype was there. And all smart guys like us, they said dump. Okay. So what's the catch? Yeah, we all, innovation is it catches all our fears. Okay? It does catch all our fears. And, the challenge of innovation is this maddening process, this confusing woolen ball. Right? Kuch dikhta nahi hai. Nothing is visible, it's all hazy. And then all the people who are involved, they will find those threads, and those collisions of ideas will keep on happening, and someday some bright thing will happen. Right? But that's not, the challenge is, when these things are happening, people are still not sure about the use case. How am I going to apply? And as smart guys, our job is to think, how should we make this idea work? It's not the job of the inventor to make the idea work. They are not innovators. It is our job to think and make the ideas work. So the reality is, in this whole process of from this woolen ball to a thing where it starts emerging, we go through these ups and downs. And there are valleys of death. Believe me, my last 6 years, 7 years, 2009 to now, several valleys of death. It's a roller coaster ride in which, it's fun doing the roller coaster ride, but the reality is that you're on the underbelly of the roller coaster. Okay, so the valley of death is there, and someone has to take care of those valleys of death. So what we believe is innovation is enlightened trial and error. The word enlightened is important. Enlightened trial and error. Yeah. Yeah. So India, very little study has been done, but the typical U.S. numbers, American studies, about 3%. So only 3% survive. Only 3% would reach there. Okay, and this is valley of death. So a lot of us, Schumpeter said that it's creative destruction. And one form of creative destruction is this bit. So I think the last point is important on the bottom, and this is why I really wanted to be here. Experimentation requires patient support. Okay, this is a small quiz. I really want you to think, which way is this lady spinning? Clockwise or anti-clockwise? Okay, I'll just put it again. I'll put it only for about 5 to 6 seconds, because if I put longer, then you can figure it out. But I'll ask clockwise, you'll just say yes, and anti-clockwise say yes. Okay. Okay, how many anti-clockwise? Yeah, few anti-clockwise. And then I heard clockwise, plenty of people. So why is it? I have done I can let it play. I have not changed anything into this. And no, there's no secret out there. And if you... so I'm not going into mirror images and those sort of things, but a lot of people, they have not seen the mirror yet, and they are still able to see anti. Okay? This is a typical right brain, left brain problem, right? Some guys, it's the same thing. Some guys, and I see about 25 to 30% in this crowd, they are able to see anti-clockwise, and the rest they are able to see clockwise. And if we start focusing it too much, then perhaps we're able to see both, right? And that's what they call the integrated whole brain perspective. And that's the challenge. The challenge is that we see things from the way we look at them. And then we think, yeah, anti-clockwise ho hi nahi sakta. We I do this in classrooms with smart guys at IITs and all the places, and there's a fight. Yeah, clockwise hai, anti-clockwise. And engineers often will see this clockwise. The logical brain will see this clockwise. The more creative guys will see this anti-clockwise. Okay. Let me link this with IR. And I believe that innovation matters for IR. Okay, for any organization, 150-year-old history, IRAS is going to be 100-year-old. It does matter, because without innovation, we're all going to, crumble. So look at this. This is a real life passenger numbers for British Railways. Can you see the slide? And in 1913, just before the war, they peaked. The passenger traffic for British Railways peaked in the year 1914, and then it kept on declining. And it went through all those different phases, and then after 1990 or 1995, it started moving up. And it took them 100 years to reach back to those levels. Okay? But why I'm showing you this is, I've been following this IRAS Times on Facebook, and sometimes I keep on posting. I believe that our golden age is yet to come. And let me share my thoughts why, not because of this graph. The developed economy rail journeys per capita per annum is about 30. And in India, it's about 3.5. Okay? I'm not counting for passenger population growth, etc. When economy will grow, more and more people will use rail travel. Okay, more and more people will use rail travel, and that's the opportunity. What I am trying to point out that the opportunity is 10 times bigger, right? But Epiphany was that moment when the three kings chose to come to see the newborn baby who was Jesus. And if we don't prepare ourselves that, look, I have to go and see the Jesus, I will never go and see the Jesus. Right? So that's the thing. I'm going to finish off in just about a minute. There are a few lessons for us. We have to tackle the roadblocks, and one of the biggest roadblocks which I see between two cultures, so one culture of having worked in railways and then now working in the sphere of innovation, is something called NIH. It's not National Institute or something. It is not invented here. Okay? NIH, not invented here. ये तो RDSO में होगा, हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते. जाइए आप. And believe me, I'm a firm believer that, I do this National Youth Ideas Contest, and every time 10,000 young students apply, and they have several ideas concerning even railways. And some of these ideas are really low cost to be done within, divisions or at station level. Okay, we have to get rid of this. My two messages are very simple. Please support startups. Nurture them. It doesn't cost much money. We are doing lots of innovation projects. I'm working with a Sarpanch, and we are making a new air cooler, which will have less noise and which will have about 50% less humidity. And the entire experimentation, guess how much does it cost? We went to Whirlpool with this project, and Whirlpool said, मैं 5 लाख रुपए देने को तैयार नहीं हूँ. We did this project in 5,000 rupees, 4 iterations. Okay? If we are purposeful, it is possible. And, all of, my esteemed colleagues, my sincere request, support startups. 5,000, 10,000, 50,000, 1 lakh, you can easily find from somewhere. Steal it. Okay? Support entrepreneurs. There are plenty of young chaps, young friends, and I don't know many of them now, but plenty of them with bright ideas. You have to sponsor them. Because if you don't sponsor, ideas will die. And it will take 15 years for it to come back, or 20 years for it to come back. I know from experience, right? Thank you all. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I look forward to your support, and at any point of time, if you need my support in any of the innovation activities for railways or anything, I'm always there. Thank you very much.